Hey, what is up? It's Nanu be back again with yet another stream. What is up, y'all? What is up, y'all? What is poppin'? I think today we're gonna have a, I guess, slightly shorter stream than we did last time. I think I'll only cover one topic before diving straight into the gameplay. We'll be on the Car 3 SMP today, so that should be fun, I think. The drama that I have to talk about today is like, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And, you know, kind of similar to my, toxic community tutorial. I do have one major tip on how to avoid fake friends and fake communities that'll turn on you on a dime. You know, it's actually not too complicated, but it can be very hard once you've already built up a big community and then it all, you know, the time comes for it all to collapse. So it kind of sucks. But hey, the nice thing about seeing things like this, you know, happen to big creators is that we get to learn from their mistakes. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm trying out strawberry watermelon prime. I've been doing a series, or recording a series of reviews of prime drinks for my vlog channel. I think it's just okay. I don't think it's anything too crazy, but it works. You know, I think it's definitely geared towards a younger audience because of how overpowering and how strong the flavor is. I do think it is a little bit ridiculous in that regard. But it definitely works. It definitely works. You know, I'm not going to hate on the drink too much. I mean, just because it's not for me doesn't mean that it's not for anybody else. You know, it doesn't mean that it's objectively bad either, so. Let's see. In any case, I figured I might as well go ahead and start going in on this drama, because this drama is kind of insane. This drama is wild. So a lot of you guys probably are aware of the big, massive news that hit Kick. If you don't know, I could tell you, but I'll just show you guys exactly what happened that kicked off this crazy firestorm of drama. And then I'll explain a little bit towards the end of how you can avoid having fake friends or being in communities that'll turn on you on a dime. But first of all, let's go to this video here. You know, it's your typical, your typical, React streamer content.
Bro.
Oh. There we go. Nice, he should be good. Also, why is he reacting to Coco Melon? It's like, I mean, his audience is like little children, which we'll get into later. So maybe that's it.
Coco Melon!
Yeah. Hey. We all know what this is, right? We all know what this is. This here is sapnap announcing that he is joining Kick, and that logo's that sign is actually pretty fire. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But anyways, yes. The big, massive news that is turning the internet apart is, sapnap joining Kick, and you would think that this is just like a normal thing, right? Streamers go and they get the big bag for the streaming platform. All of the streamers' friends go and cheer him on because they're really glad, that he's making a lot of money and doing well for himself. Well, no, this is the time for hatred. You see, Tubbo went absolutely like sicko mode on sapnap. And the crazy thing is, like, sapnap is part of the streaming community that Tubbo is in. Like sapnap has presumably, a fair amount of friends in the Dream SMP community. But, you know, instead of having friends being happy for him, you know, because he's, you know, having a lot of success, instead, we are getting 2.5-hour streams of Sapnap's supposed friends hating on him. Such as, you know, this clip right here. You've got this.
On the website, my first fucking streamer in the recommended was Destiny. What the fuck are you even saying right now, bro?
Destiny over here catching strays.
Fella, it might not be bad for you. You might be a fucking grown-up, man. You might have your fucking life together. But, like, we're talking about Sapnap's community here. We're talking about a community of young teenagers and
Yo, also saying that the you know, Sapnap's community doesn't have their lives together or whatever. We've got this clip here.
Surely your #1 recommended kick streamer isn't a disgusting bigot. Yeah, I know.
Hilarious. But check this out. Check this out. Okay.
With groups of like misogynists, anti-Semites, like homophobes, like transphobes, like it just kind of like when you think of kick, these are the first things that come to mind.
Now, first of all, the reason why these are the first things that come to mind is primarily because of certain people on Twitter who are pushing a certain agenda, making it seem like this platform is, you know, more hateful than it actually is. There are also a lot of people who are anti-free speech. Now, I do understand, right, that some people are going to get mad that a platform is going to have hateful people on there or whatever, and they want to, like, you know, child-proof the internet. That's, you know, on them. And to be fair, you know, I think a lot of people like Tubbo, like his fans, there are a lot of like young kids, right? So of course they're going to want the internet to be like a place for kids primarily, right? But I think it has to be considered the fact that the internet is a place for grown-ups too, right? So you're going to have a lot of people inevitably, you know, saying things that may not be, you know, the funnest or the coolest things in the world.
Like, that is what comes to mind. Like, even now. So then, okay, fast forward.
But anyways, there was this one clip. Hold on. Let me see. Is this the clip that I wanted to focus on? Let me see if this is it. Let me see if this is the clip I'm looking for.
I think also why this sentence has even less weight to it. I think why this sentence has even less weight to it is also...
The sentence here, by the way, being... I feel like I could bring positive things to the platform, unlike most other platforms I use.
Like... These other platforms that you use Twitter as an example here. You strongly disagree with plenty of the stuff on Twitter. Okay, but you don't actively engage in it.
This is the silliest thing, right? So a lot of people are mad that Sapnap is joining Kick, specifically because Kick has had hate speech on their platform before. And some people still send, you know, hateful messages in the Kick chat sometimes. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Comparing Kick to Twitter or X or whatever definitely makes sense. And it's interesting that Tubbo here says, oh, well, I mean, he's not engaging with the hateful content on Twitter, though. He's not engaging with hateful content on Kick either. Like, this whole argument, right, that Sapnap is a terrible person for joining Kick is kind of ridiculous, especially if you're going to use the grounds of, well, they have people who say hate speech on there. Like, this is kind of like the Jussie Smollett situation, right? Like, what person who hates gay people even knows who Sapnap is? I have people in my chat asking who Sapnap is. They don't even know. Like, the thing about Kick is it's not a thing where it's like, you just see, you know, you could just spam random messages into like anybody's chat. You have to actively engage and click into somebody's content. If you're someone who likes Aiden Ross's content, what are we even doing in Sapnap's chat? You're not gonna watch Sapnap's content, right? If you're an XQC fan, you're not gonna be running over to go send messages into Sapnap's chat, you know, just to mess with like some, just to mess with like some gay or trans users. So the idea that like, you know, just because Kick has a lot of like homophobic or transphobic users, and that they're gonna go and just flood, you know, Sapnap's stream to go and hate on all the gay and the trans kids, just seems like a little bit silly to me. And I just kind of found it like, part of me found it humorous because it's like, they're just like blowing something way out of proportion that like doesn't even matter a lot. And I know I'm gonna probably get like hateful comments, whatever, because all of these fans and whatever are exposing themselves as not being quite as tolerant as they claim they are. But like, at the end of the day, right? Even if you are part of like the alphabet mafia or whatever, right? This guy coming to Kick is going to make Kick a more, I guess, safe place, right? Is what a lot of people say. It's just comfortable, right? It'll make it more of a safe space for people who are LGBT, for people who are, queer or whatever it is that you have going on in your brain. It's going to be safer or not safer. It's going to be more comfortable for you guys being on Kick because specifically Sapnap is here. Because let's face it, whenever new streamers join Kick, especially the ones who are early adopters, they tend to have some sway in what things get changed on the platform. Or XQC, Trainwrecks in particular, they have a lot of pull when it comes to what changes happen onto Kick. Now, I do think that Kick is trying to pander to all demographics, right? They're trying to pander to the edgy, like the actually edgy viewers of Twitch by getting Aiden Ross, the fake, or not fake, the corporate safe, edgy, I guess, streamers like XQC or whatever, and, the Minecraft streamers who are, extremely prudish, right? They're, I'm trying to think of a word. They're extremely strict, right? They're kind of like Mormon parents over here, being like, oh, you gotta act and move a certain way or whatever, right? Like, this is actually a good strategy on Kick's part. Try to get people from all demographics onto their platform. It really is seeming like they want to be a platform for everyone. And some of y'all might be mad because some of you guys hate certain people. That's on you. Kick doesn't really seem to do that. They just want to have every demographic of every streamer and every demographic of every streaming viewer on their platform. And I think that is a good thing. Now, I do think that, there could be issues where folks get brigaded in chats, in live chats of various streamers. And I think that Kick probably does need to build up some sort of guardrails against that. If they don't have, some sort of, automatic filter or mod system, they do need to implement that, or at the very least allow streamers to implement their own, so that, like, let's say Sapnap says, I don't want all these slurs or whatever in my chat, then he can put those filters on and then people can't send those hateful messages. But someone like Aiden Ross, who wants to have that stuff in his chat, is allowed to do so. I do think that is a pretty good middle ground, so that then all of these snowflakes can feel safe while they're in Sapnap's chat, but then also Aiden Ross's chat, they can have the experience that they're looking for. But I think that the saddest part of all of this is how many people are sort of turning on Sapnap over this. It seemed to me, and I didn't know too much about the Dream SMP community, although I do watch some of their content. That's actually how I found out about this. But it seemed to me like, Sapnap's friends and his fans, they didn't seem like true friends or true fans. And, you do know that it is fair to point out that, Ranboo came up with his own response to this. I think this is over here, where he said, I don't respect any creator that joins that platform if they are aware of what happens on that platform. Nothing more to add to it. It is about money at the end of the day, no matter how you try to spin it. And that's sad that people are willing to put the safety and well-being of their community at risk, right? It's going to cause people to literally die because he's streaming on Kick. And support what happens there for a high enough figure. I mean, if CEOs cared about making their platform safer, they would have. Just say you want money and go. I could go more into it, but honestly, it makes me really sad, so I'll leave it at that. Please do not support streamer creators that join Kick. And then we've got this here for context. Vanboo vague posting on Tumblr at Sapnap saying he doesn't respect him anymore and playing crab game with him. It's kind of ironic and funny. It is kind of funny. And I think one thing too is when it comes to these communities, right? Here's the problem when it comes to attaching yourself to these very extremely dogmatic and almost cultish or religious communities such as the Alphabet Mafia, is that when you do this, you have to walk a very, very fine line. And the sad thing is about, unlike other religions, well, I guess the religion, I suppose, whatever, of, the gender ideology in that whole community, is that unlike Christianity, where if you sin, then you can be forgiven, there's no forgiveness when it comes to this ideology. You make one wrong step and you're done, and no one will ever forgive you for this grave sin that you've committed of, what is it, streaming on kick.com. Right? And you don't even have to be that bad, that egregious. There's nothing really that you can do to placate these people, which is why I don't think it's a good idea to try to placate this community. In case in point, people are going after Rainbow now. Here we have a tweet that says, Rambo's post irks me for a number of reasons. Like, putting into words is hard, but I'm basically annoyed that Rambo expresses this level of anger for what sapnap's doing, but refuses to bring this heat when it comes to disciplining their own community. And then I'm not logged in, so I can't see all of the following content. But basically, the tweeter, goes on to whine and complain about how, Rambo has had certain, questionable content in his community, or behavior in his community, and just completely ignored it. Also say, hey, SDLTRIKIS, nice, it's good. What's up? Good to see you. It's nice to have a viewer from Mexico. That's fire. It's very cool. I'm just talking about the whole sapnap drama or whatever. And so, apologizing to these people really is a lost cause, because you could literally be doing everything right, and they will still find something to criticize you and hate on you about. So, in general, I would just say, if you're online, just be yourself. Don't try to bow to all of these bullies, because that's really like what this community is at the end of the day. They're bullies that just think that they can just tell everyone what to do. Now, Sapnap did have a response to all this at the beginning of his most recent stream, which was, I believe, today. This is what he had to say.
So I just want to start off by saying that I never wanted anyone to feel bad. That was never what I was trying to do with what happened yesterday, or the day before rather. I want to do everything I can to make sure that people that are in my community feel safe and comfortable and just have a good time without worrying about anything else. So I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry that if I try to make you, if I made you guys feel that way. That was never my intention. I have what I believe to be good intentions, and I always want everyone in my community to feel safe and welcome.
And that's what he had to say. And I think that was a fine response. And I'm very glad that he is doubling down on his decision, and that he made a whole pay spin explaining his reasoning for, moving to Kick. And I think that's entirely fine. That's entirely fair. Because, when bullies come around, right, trying to force you to do, whatever they want you to do, you cannot bow down to them. You cannot let the bullies win, because at the end of the day, if you do that, then the bullies will go even further and further and further until they're trying to control everything that you do, and you are kind of tied down to, their beck and call and all of their wishes, which I don't think that you want to do. Nobody wants to be controlled by bullies, right? And so this is the first step, But at the end of the day, it all starts at the beginning, right? It all starts at the beginning of cultivating an audience, right? So the question is, when you're cultivating an audience and you're gathering friends around you, are you picking people who are going to say things that, are just popular with mainstream opinion? Or are you going to pick friends who are going to stick with you, even if you make some mistakes, or even if you say something that is kind of like outside the mainstream, right? And this is one reason why I think that being honest on the internet, about like your beliefs and various things is important too, right? Not to be obnoxious and go around hating on people, right? I have my own opinions that are outside of, current thing, but I don't go around like calling people slurs and all of these things. There's no need for that. That's extremely hateful. And it also plays into the rhetoric of all of the woke boys, because they'll be like, oh, hey, look at him. He hates people, right? Which I don't. But it's important to be honest, because at the end of the day, people are going to find out, your convictions, right? If you don't care about Kick, right, the woke boys are going to figure that out. They're going to find that out. And when they do, it's not going to be a happy day for you, my friend. Which is what sapnap is learning here, right? If you go against, the alphabet mafia on, gender ideology or transgenderism or all of that, and, people are going to eventually find out and hate you for it, just, put out your stance and then go along your merry way. And people can decide whether or not they're going to actually be your real friends, going to actually be your real fans, or if they're just going to, turn tail and run away at the nearest sign of anything that is outside of mainstream narratives, right? Are they going to prove themselves to be entirely intolerant? So, when you're picking friends, when you're cultivating an audience, make sure that you're cultivating an audience and friends who are actually tolerant, because otherwise you'll get into this sticky situation where Sapnap's fans, or so-called fans, and his even so-called friends, are going out here excoriating him just for switching streaming platforms, and he hasn't even done anything to them or the people that he's supposedly putting in danger. Like, this is some of the silliest drama that I've seen in a long time. But it's crazy how sad it is, because you spend all of this time building up a fan base, getting friends around you, only for them to turn on you as soon as you do something that's not corporately safe or whatever, or good for the brand. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Good friends and good fans are great to have, but if you have a lot of fans and a lot of friends who are fake, it's better if you didn't have any at all. And I think that's unfortunately what Sapnap is learning here. So, all right, there we go. We've got the the commentary segment of the day down. We're only doing one of those because I'm going to go head first into playing Minecraft today. Nice. We have our I think the newest member of our community, I suppose. I guess you haven't joined the Discord yet. But SDLTRIKSIS. I hope you one day teach me how to say your name correctly. But he's popped into the stream. Nice to see you. We've got our Mexican friend. It's very, very cool to have some international pull that goes beyond America. Actually, I don't think anyone in my chat is from America. We've got official Mike, but we've also got SDL. We've got official Mike, who's in Canada, and Trickus, who is in Mexico. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But anyways, I'm going to pop into the Car3 SMP Discord, and we are going to play some Minecraft. Let's see. Hold on. There we are. There we go. Hold on. I should have told everybody that I'm hopping onto the server. Yeah, but what do you guys think of my take there? I'm sure it's going to be controversial, but I don't care. Hey, look. If that ends up being controversial and people get mad, hey, that just weeds out all the fake people, right? And this is why, if people leave you or try to cancel you, or whatever, don't be mad, bro. People are showing their true colors, and at the end of the day, that is kind of what you want. I will say this though. Official Mike said I go out of my way to intentionally offend the alphabet cult. That's cringe. That's bad. Don't do that. And that's kind of what I was talking about, right? Where it's have your convictions, right? Have your own beliefs and stand firm on those. But don't go out of your way to go and hate on people. Because first of all, you give all the woke boys ammunition because they're like, oh, look at him, he's hateful, right? Because he's misgendering, the person which gender is for you or whatever. You're gonna get that sort of rhetoric, but also it's just what's the point? Now I know you're not a Christian, right? So maybe you don't care about this as much, but I think that loving people is extremely, extremely important. So it's pretty impossible to be loving to people while running around trying to offend folks for no reason. Why? Because they disagree with you? Because they have something wrong going on in their heads? That's no reason to hate people. You prove the left and all the progressive extremists, you prove them right when you do stuff like that. Now, of course, right, not all of our behavior should be done just for the sake of proving the left right or proving the left wrong. But I do think it's something to consider too. Especially since I don't think that these people deserve to be hated on, if I'm going to be honest, right? Like, I can disagree with a lifestyle, and that's completely different than saying that people like deserve hate. And I don't think that calling for hatred is ever justified, generally speaking. Like, I can say that I hate somebody's content, right, or their YouTube channel, or whatever, but that's a lot different than saying that I hate, or I can even say that I hate something that somebody does, right? But that doesn't mean that I hate the individual person. There's a strange idea going on, right? That you have to affirm everything that everybody does, right? So long as, it is in line with the current thing. That is stupid. It's incredibly stupid. People are different. Let them be different. And let me have different opinions. Right? Like, I'm going to follow Christian dogma. I'm not going to follow like the secular dogma or whatever's floating, woke boys boat today. And also trying to follow, all of like the current thing is like exhausting anyways. You got people running around in circles, The thing that's woke today is kind of like out of touch like 10 years ago, and then like it all flip-flops and goes back and forth. I can't keep track with all that. Bro, just give me a Bible. I'm gonna follow those instructions, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. Right? Like, Christianity is a far easier religion to follow than wokeness. And it's a better one too, right? Because you get like forgiveness in there too. Like, that's a great thing about like Christianity that I think a lot of people are like missing out on. Is like, and you don't even really get this with a lot of other religions too, is, there is, you're called, right, to be a better person, to grow. But if you sin, you do something wrong, that's okay. You go and apologize to God, and you keep it pushing, you keep it moving, and you try to do better. But it's not a thing of where it's like, oh, I sinned. Does that mean I'm not a Christian anymore? Does that mean I'm not saved anymore? Does it mean that I'm condemned forever? I know that there are a lot of Christians, who struggle with that. But the freeing thing is, at the end of the day, that's not true. It's not true that you make just one mistake and you're done for. You're toast. But with a lot of other religions, even like Catholicism, which is like, somewhat related to Christianity, right? It's like, are you ever like really saved? Because, you've got the whole like purgatory thing where it's like, you can try as much as you want, but you can't fully work away your sins. So you got to burn in hell for a few thousand years. Like, there is nothing quite like Christianity. It's the best theology. If you take anything away from this stream, even if you are, completely in line with the whole progressive thing, it's like, you gotta admit that it kind of is like a religion. And it's not just like a happy religion where it's like, you can do whatever you want. It's a very strict religion that's like hard to follow. It's demanding. And once you commit like certain mortal sins, like, you are out of the club, beyond the point of return. So, I mean, there's a reason too why progressives and Democrats are all depressed, and Christians, while Christians are certainly, they're depressed Christians, they're not as depressed, right? They don't have the same rates of depression. There's a reason for that, my friend. Why do you think it is that Christians are happier than progressives? Just think about that for a moment. Maybe it's because we're not trying day and night to try and like, save ourselves with our own works and prove that we're good people. I know it's easy for me to go on a rant, but it's just like, I absolutely hate people getting trapped in these cycles where people are bullying them, or they're made to, they feel like they're not really, they have low self-esteem and low self-worth, because they're in these kind of cultish communities where you will literally get bullied if you make one wrong step or one wrong move. Now I do know that there's some toxic churches and toxic Christian circles, but in general, Christianity is not like that. And it's just like, it does suck to see, you know, people like Sapnap or whatever get drawn into these toxic circles, right? When, like, being a Christian, I do have the joy of experiencing, communities that are healthier, communities that are kinder and more loving. And I wish that more people knew how much. I wish people knew like what they were missing out on, at least. Because Christianity gets a bad rap and people call them hateful or whatever. A lot of that's just name calling from the very same bullies that I'm talking about. But it's just like, bro, it's hard to describe like how frig it feels. But it's just like, there's just something about like being a Christian and then the freedom, you know, to make mistakes and to learn and to grow without being condemned. It's not something that you get in other religions, including wokeness. Official Mike said, I'm a ghost people in school except for my professors for the sake of career advancement. Oh, shoot. My microphone was on mute. If your goal was career advancement, that's the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Oh, sorry. You're still talking to your professors. Okay. Well, hey, your friends might have connects too, right? Like, you have LinkedIn in your country, correct? Because, like, yo, at least hit up all your friends and get on their LinkedIns. Like, bro, like, making connects is good. You don't have to waste time with, like, frivolous people who are just, like, partying all the time. I mean, you don't have to waste time with like, frivolous people who are partying all the time, but definitely make connects, at the very least. Have some friends. My mic said yes. I don't know what you said yes to, though. I don't know what you're saying yes to. I wish I knew, my friend. I wish I knew. But also, while we're talking about the whole thing of Kick, what would you guys think if I moved over to Kick? Just a little curious. See, of all the streaming platforms, here's what I see, right? If I'm going to move to a different platform, there are certain things that are going to need to be in place. I think the primary thing is you're going to need to have more free speech than YouTube. Now, YouTube is surprisingly good when it comes to free speech in comparison to other platforms for streaming specifically, because there are other platforms like Twitch and stuff that I think have more baggage when it comes to just like, you know, getting rid of streamers for like no reason. Generally, YouTube, at least, it's like some sort of like very strongly anti-current thing rhetoric or something, where at the very least you can be like, oh, okay, I can see why that person got banned, or at least you know what the lines are, so you can avoid saying things that'll get YouTube irritated. Kick has a lot more free speech, so that does make it seem appealing, especially considering the fact that I am not I'm not part of like the current thing crowd. I'm not a current thing fan. I'm not an NPC, right? So that makes Kick as a platform seem somewhat appealing, but I think Kick has, unfortunately, some technical hurdles that they need to face. It's super annoying too, because the one thing they need to fix is their mobile app experience, and they also need to make a client for TVs, I think, as well. Those are like two of the main technical hurdles that they need to pass, because chat on Kick is great. Chat on Kick is almost as good as chat on Twitch. It's not as good, but I think it's also going to be kind of hard to replicate the Twitch chat experience somewhere else, just because it is fairly unique. Also, there's no chat arena support, which is kind of sad. I was hoping there'd be chat arena support for Kick eventually, but I haven't heard any word on that. But yeah, the main things keeping me off of Kick right now is the lack of support for phone. Well, okay, they have an app for phones, but it sucks. Don't use it. No proper TV app, right? Because I want to be on a platform where you can just like throw me on to like basically any device and watch me. And on top of that, I mean, I think the Kick chat integration is a little bit lacking. Like, I don't know if there's a TTS, like a way to do TTS on Kick. Is there? Because I will need something that can do TTS on Kick. Now, granted, TTS options for YouTube ain't great either, but they do exist. I think those are like two of the main things. I don't think if I moved to Kick, I would be edgier though, than I am now. I'm not even really that edgy. I'm just like not a woke boy, but I don't think I would be particularly edgy, because I would still post VODs on the streams channel. So like, okay, if there's something like Mike said, but if people at my school are going to be fake, then I'm not afraid to ghost him. But I'm not afraid to drop people who don't fit my advancement. That's the way to go. But you seem someone distrustful of people, and I don't know that that's particularly healthy. You can't assume that everyone's out to get you and everyone's fake. You do have to trust, and I know that this can be hard, right? But you do have to, trust. You have to trust some people, right? If you want people in your life, you got to trust some people. And I know that you're probably one of those people going to be like, oh, I'm completely fine. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I'm a tough, cool dude who can handle everything myself. You're probably not. Like, I love, feeling that way. It's like, I don't need people, but bro, everyone needs people. God made us as tribal beings. He did not make us as solitary souls. So I don't think it's wise to try to fool yourself into thinking that you don't need people. But again, right? If the people are not right for you, don't roll with them. Don't rock with them. This is better to be I said this in when talking about the whole sapnap situation, right? It's better to be alone than have fake people around you, or people who are the wrong fit around you, right? This applies to relationships too. It's better to be single than to be with the wrong person. For something like I said, I'm distrustful of people. Exactly, right? You're a very easy person to read. You're always putting your heart in your sleeve when you're in this chat, which to an extent I actually kind of admire, or maybe not admire, but I respect it. Because there are a lot of people who are fake on the internet, and I do think that some of the things you talk about and you say that you do are cringe or whatever. At least you're very open and open with your thoughts, your perspectives, what you've been up to, what you like to do, how you're feeling. Something that takes guts, and guts are something that if you do have them, you're shamed for having them in today's climate. So it says negative only distrustful of school folks, but people at my work, they chill. I like them real. That's good. Yeah, don't kick all people out of your life. Just don't keep people who aren't for you. I mean, it's helpful. It's healthy to be somewhat distrustful of people. You can't be running around trusting everybody, right? You can't just be distrustful of everyone by default, or else you'll never have anyone in your life. But yeah, we got 30 more minutes in the stream, I think, before I'll have to call it a night. So yeah, if you guys want to bring up any topics, definitely let me know. I'd be down to chat about whatever you guys want me to chat about. Official Mike said if the woke mad for guts, and they can just take it and shove it up themselves. See, and this is one way we disagree, because you like antagonizing people, and I don't think that it's right. I don't think that's kind or loving to do, but I do think that it's fair to take a stand, right? If you're gonna run around trying to get me to say that, I don't know, like, what will make people mad? What will make intolerant people upset, right? If I say that like trans women are men or something, will that make you guys throw up, go apoplectic, clip this and put this on Twitter? Right? Call me a bigot, call me hateful or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that, where it's like, I can say that, I can say my opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna run around being all obnoxious, trying to, like, you know, trigger all of the woke people. Like, that's cringe. Like, if you're spending all your time doing that, trying to make woke people mad, you should probably get a life or a job. Like, I understand, like, if you didn't get a lot of attention as a kid, but, I mean, come on. There are other ways to go about this. Okay, this is a fair point. Official Mike says, give me sass, I give sass back. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, like, if somebody starts stuff with you, it's fine to dish out what they're giving you to a degree. I do think that being the bigger and the better person is always great. So, like, if somebody calls you like names or whatever, like, don't call them names back. Like, there's no need for that. No, you don't always have to sling mud. But if people are gonna, you know, go into some sort of like debate with you over like a controversial topic, then hey, go in. Like, you know, stand up for yourself. Don't like run away. Right, like, I think society's trying to condition people to be cowards, and that's stupid. Don't be a coward. Stand up for yourself and for your beliefs. Because, you know, you do have to choose whether or not you want to be who you want to be. Do you want to be yourself and be who you truly are, or do you want to just be a conglomeration of what everybody who's around you wants you to be? There are going to be people in life who don't accept you for who you are, and that's fine. You just got to accept that and move on. Just like, be yourself, man. I mean, if being yourself means instigating woke people, maybe don't do that. I mean, I think it's kind of cringe. But I mean, hey. I'm not going to hate you for it. I'm just going to tell you that it's cringe. And that goes back to one of the things I said earlier, right? Like, you can disagree with something somebody does. You can say that they're cringe or whatever. It doesn't mean you hate them. Like, no, I don't hate you, Official Mike, for, you know, running around trying to make pink-haired lesbians mad. Like, I don't hate you for that. Like, I just don't agree with it. Let's see. Official Mike said, I destroy them with the facts and logic. Okay. I trigger the ones who try to attack me unprovoked. That's the way to go. I mean, it just be subtle, don't be mean, right? Like, there's no need for the meanness. There's too much toxicity in the modern political landscape. Why does everyone have to try and kill each other? That seems like bad form to me. If they call me names, look them dead in the eyes and say something, and say, so everything they say about you is true. Yo, what if you do that while, like, whispering or something? And just, like, do, like, a really creepy dead eye stare, like, so everything they say about you is true. Wait, so everything they say about you is true. Oh no. Oh, that's awful. It's so sad. I know that was a little cringe too. I'ma own that. Someone in a YouTube chat, not YouTube chat, someone in a YouTube comment section called me cringe and aware. That's like the perfect description. Like, just like take that and own it, right? Like, if you're cringe, just own your cringiness. You know another thing, y'all? You know another thing? And this right here is proof that you can be a Minecraft streamer and not be woke. I will say this about sapnap. I'm extremely happy that he had like over like 1,000 people in his chat, and none of them were being mean and none of them were bullying him. I do wonder what are Kick's moderation tools though. What are Kick's moderation tools? I generally like having unmoderated chats like as a concept, but there are cases where I do want to moderate my chat. So like, for example, there was one time where like a viewer of mine was getting legitimately harassed, and I had to block that person from my chat. Mike said, I am not woke, I'm anti-woke. I do feel like to a certain degree anti-wokeness is a little cringe though. Like, anti-woke is just like, you have nothing better to do than like go around triggering like mentally unwell people. Like, bro, half these woke people are like mentally ill, like, let's be honest. But ad hominem attack, I guess. But it's not. I feel like it's not generally constructive if you're making your whole life about bashing on the woke people. Like I said, a lot of them are unstable. They're already going to be upset about random things, like, I don't know, stepping over a bug while going on a crosswalk. Like, you don't need to pile onto their mental anguish. Like, you're, in a way, you're contributing to the toxicity that I hate and I see all across, mainstream media, the internet, social media, which is like, if you disagree with me, then you deserve hatred and people should hate you. Like, why? No,
Man,
that's not
true.
Hey, man.
Just kidding.
Oh man, you missed my rant about how Christianity is a better religion than wokeness and all this stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, that's 100% true. I can't argue with you there.
Yeah, because the thing is, this all came up with the massive drama of Sapnap. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He is a Minecraft streamer in the Dream SMP community. So yeah, massive streamer, big fans. He has a lot of fans who are like younger, who are like little kids. Apparently the majority of like their fan base is like lesbian. It's like a lot of girls are their viewers, and like most of their viewers are also like LGBT. So they were very mad when Sapnap decided to join Kick, because Kick is a platform where people have spewed like transphobia or homophobia, and they're just people who are out of step with the current like I call it current thing, right, where it's just like whatever the mainstream says goes. They have people who are out of step with that, and so they were very mad that Sapnap decided to join the streaming service. In fact, they were his like so-called friends going out and like speaking out against him, saying like, I am so disappointed in you, like I don't respect you anymore. This is like sad, this is a mistake. And I opened up my stream with a whole segment being like, these people, if they're gonna turn on you for stuff like this, they're not your friends, they're not your real fans. And this is why it's important to be open and honest when you're on the internet, because you weed out fake folks like this, right? But I also spoke about how like this is like, I contrasted that with the beauty of Christianity and the gospel, where it's like you're it's not a situation where you do like one thing and you're suddenly like cast out and no one can ever forgive you or support you or be your friend ever again.
Yeah,
like
I'm sorry. Look, Amar, I'm sorry. You've missed too many of our past meetings. Get out. I'm
what?
kidding.
Oh, what? Oh.
That was bad. I'm sorry. That was a bad attempt at a.
I'm joking. If you saw my stream, I went to my AFK. I went to like my AFK screen.
Oh.
But yeah, no, like, and this is why, if you look at the mental health of Christians versus like, the woke boys, like,
The woke boys.
like, the mental health of Christians and people with traditional values, but especially Christians, is way higher than folks who are, part of like the LGBT community. They're doing all this stuff for their mental health and then they like spend the rest of their lives depressed until they commit suicide. Like, just saying, like, this is how these cycles go. Like they're in this community searching for happiness, trying to build like the biggest, softest, fluffiest, comfiest safe space that they can possibly build, and they're just miserable the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? They're either hating on other people or they're hating on themselves, or they themselves are getting canceled. There's no peace in that community. There's no peace in that community. Why would you ever want to be part of that community? I would never understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand to a degree if you grew up in like a very strict household or community where, let's say you're LGBT and like people were hating you because of that. I can kind of see why, because you could then go to that community and find some acceptance and comfort. But just it'd be way too difficult to curry favor with those people long term. Like, I don't think it's worth it long term.
Yeah, it's like building a pillow fort, but the pillows are made out of spikes. So you're just poking yourself and bleeding out every time you try to snuggle up against one.
Well, no, you know what it's like. It's like,
also, it is rumored. There is, I don't know if this is true or not, but there are some beliefs that, now, again, I don't know if this is actually true, that AIDS started in the gay community.
I don't know. There are a lot of conspiracy theories about that, but I do think that's important to point out when it comes to AIDS is that it's not a. People act like it's like gay and lesbian disease. It's not. You can contract AIDS. You can contract AIDS by drinking somebody else's water at like Five Guys. So, it's not. It's not just for like LGBT and trans people.
You could get COVID from drinking someone else's water. You could get malaria. Well, I don't know how you would get malaria.
Malaria? That's like.
Let's
that's
say
mosquitoes.
that someone mixed the mosquito water cocktail.
I think we're probably getting out of our depth here.
We're getting out of our.
But
I'm
oh,
getting
before we start, what were we gonna say about AIDS?
Like, I was kind of poking fun a little bit with the gays for that, but I know that's just like a big conspiracy thing. I don't know if it's actually true. Chances are someone in Africa could have caught it just as easily originally too.
Oh, AIDS is a huge problem in Africa, because the water that they have is pretty dirty. They don't really have the technology to filter it very well, and so like it spreads a lot through the water.
Like, also, all the diseases that we've come up with names over the past 100 years or so have probably existed for millennia, but just have never been classified until now.
I kind of disagree. You think we've always had COVID with us? No, that was started in the lab in Wuhan.
Okay, some diseases have been around for millennia. Like, I'm pretty sure that malaria has probably been around for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, bubonic plague has been around for a long time.
Yeah, I know COVID is a new invention.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow it got lost. Somehow one scientist decided to take a sample of it to a fish market in Wuhan, and that's how it started.
Yeah, by the way, like, COVID-19, like, what an invention. Like, whoever came up with that should deserve, like, the Nobel Peace Prize, because, like, it's not the easiest thing to come up with, like, such a viral disease.
The Peace Prize? They peacefully united the world in a lockdown, and...
Hey, I mean, Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize for, like, bombing, like, nations, like, into oblivion, so, I mean...
Oh, wait, he did win one, didn't he? He did get one. What did he get? Was it...
No, sorry. In reality, he got it for being black. He didn't get it for bombing nations. I was just making a joke there.
Yeah, when did he receive his Nobel Peace Prize?
I think like a month after taking office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he barely had any time to bomb nations at that point.
Yeah, true.
Like,
But you know what he did have time to be? Or do you know what he did have time to do? He had time to be black.
He did. He was born that way. Wasn't he born in, like, Hawaii or something?
Oh, well, now we're getting to more conspiratorial waters.
Yeah, I don't... Where was he?
You're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh. Oh, so you're evoking the exclusive black discussion privilege to stop me from talking about
No! That's not what I'm on about. I'm talking about,
it? I'm
there are
messing with you.
conspiracy theories. I'll put it like this. Some say that he was born in Kenya.
I've heard that theory. Now, as much like I genuinely do think he was born in the United States. Chances are he had, like, in order to be president of the United States, you have to be either, I don't know, I might be misquoting the Constitution here, so this could be scandalous, but I think you have to be 35 first off,
Mm-hmm.
which he qualifies obviously for that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be, I do believe that you have to be a citizen of the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's exclusively by being born in the country or if it's by also includes having lived in the country for like 40 years or something.
A bit of both. You have to be a naturalized citizen, I believe. So, for example, like Ted Cruz is a naturalized citizen because he was born in Canada, but it was while his parents were there on a trip, they brought him over, he got the citizenship. Like, they brought him back to America and he got the citizenship. He's born and raised in Texas.
Okay. Also, now, yeah, so, like, if that's the case, then it's possible Obama could have been born in Kenya. Very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But then moved to the United States when he was very, very young. Or he could have been born in Illinois, like, I don't know. He was an Illinois senator. I'm not sure what their rules are, but usually you have to at least live in the state for like 7 to 10 years or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he lived in the United States for a long time.
Well, yeah, I don't know how old he was when he became president, but when you're in your 40s, you've been in the country for a long time.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there are 40-year-olds who have not been living in this country for a long time.
True. Some of them came over from Mexico yesterday.
It's true.
Like, I was talking in a Discord chat about someone who, I don't know what the discussion was, like, I was talking with a Canadian about, I think it was one of the guys in your server, actually. I was talking with them about
Official Mike?
He hates it and stuff. Maybe? I don't remember this conversation too well.
Wait, I didn't know that people were doing Discord calls in my server. That's pretty cool.
Well, it wasn't a call, it was a chat. We were chatting back and forth, and I jokingly told him that the easiest way to get in from Canada is to fly to Guatemala, travel through Mexico, and swim the Rio Grande.
I did not know that.
I also told him he could come in legally, but it could take like 400 years to get the process done. Which I think is a problem that I think on immigration we have a few problems. One of them's illegal immigration. Obviously,
Right.
we need to stop people from just crossing the border with drugs and guns and women and stuff.
Yeah. Well, bring your guns. I don't care.
Well, if you bring your guns, actually, you might be. Well, there has been some illegal people that have been involved in shootings and stuff. So
Oh
it's not
no!
great.
You can't say illegal people. You have to say undocumented immigrants because no human is illegal. Oh.
Oh. Well, that sounds like Kamala Harris right there, though she would have said that in a much more convoluted way.
Yeah, she would have been more angry.
More angry and less sensible in her declaration. But
Yeah, we'd be lucky if we understood what she says there.
yeah, but yeah, if I continue, like, illegal immigration's a problem. Another thing that could be better, like, America historically has an attitude against letting immigrants in that started in like the before, like, the late 1800s, early 1900s. A lot of immigrants came in the country legally, and we actually welcomed them. Like, people were actually welcoming them. That's why we have Lady Liberty, for instance.
Yeah.
But starting in like the 1920s, for whatever reason, Congress decided to restrict the number of immigrants that could come into the country at once legally. Like, they put quotas on how many Chinese could come in, or how many Japanese or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then, even worse, during World War II, we threw all the Japanese Americans in the internment camps, like the not Nazi. We didn't like genocide them like the Nazis, but we committed a small atrocity.
Small.
Nonetheless, that's really wrong. Like, we shouldn't be. Like, we didn't do this to the Italian and German Americans that were in the country. We still let them make pizza or drink beer or whatnot.
True.
I mean, like, the Japanese Americans back then deserved better.
Well, I mean, hey,
Granted-
they're getting the best right now. Like,
Now,
bro, have you seen their
Granted,
stats? Like,
at the same
they are
it kinda
grinding.
makes sense. Oh, it kind of, like, back then I see why that happened.
Mhm.
Well, the Americans have always been like, America has a long history of having prejudice. There's a lot of people that have hit, like, back then there was segregation in the South and mistreatment of the African American people.
Yeah.
And then the Native Americans were mistreated centuries ago too. Like, our nation has done bad things or let people do bad things in our history. And then I think DeSantis said something about restricting the number of legal immigrants too recently.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm not really a fan of DeSantis, but I think he has some good ideas.
He has some good ideas. Limiting the number of legal, like, I'm all for securing the border and stopping the illegal immigration flow. That needs to stop because it's a threat to security, especially when there's drug cartels smuggling stuff into the country, like fentanyl, which is extremely deadly.
Mm-hmm.
One whiff and you're dead, essentially. But
Sorry, I do want to make one. I do want to make one aside, which is that, like, While illegal immigration is bad, I think what's worse is illegal immigrants getting away with the crimes that they're committing. Because if illegal immigrants were, like, let's say that they shoot some people on a boardwalk somewhere. This has happened before, and they someone finds out about it. They should be either thrown into jail, like sentenced, whatever, or sent back to where they came from. But a lot of times you have people just getting loose back onto the streets. Like, I'm okay. I'm not even against amnesty if we're giving amnesty to the people who are already here and we're like, no more illegal immigration. Like I would be a fan of sealing up the border.
The people who are already in the country, I would say that those who are still living and haven't gone for citizenship yet, we should open up the opportunity for them to actually. I think the U.S. citizenship process and application is mired in bureaucracy like everything else.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to get your citizenship.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point that it's worse having illegal immigrants who are violent and doing catch and release on them. That's worse than having illegal immigrants at all, because I do think the majority of illegal immigrants are not violent people who are troublemakers or just trying to freeload off of the welfare system or something. Like, I think most immigrants, even the legal ones, are actually more hardworking than Americans.
A lot of them, a lot of the people that come in illegally, if we make it so that they can become citizens within a year or something instead of 17 years, then if we streamline the citizenship process a little bit, I know we have to register them with a social security number, get their information and stuff so the IRS can send tax bills every year.
Yeah.
The most important stuff the government cares about, but
also what also matters is getting them voter ID so that they can vote legitimately and all that stuff. That's important too.
Get ID check, get them driver's licenses so they're not just driving their beat up buses and Camaros down the road.
Well, or so that they're not afraid to drive at all. You're making a whole community dependent on public transit, right? Instead of being able to just drive wherever they want to go.
Yeah. Get them a driver's license. Get them a ID. Maybe, and once they're citizens and stuff, if they want to serve the U.S. military eventually, then they should be able to.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the people that migrate here end up getting stuck in a lot of people end up impoverished. Partly because they came in that way. Because if we face reality, the only reason they left in their home in the first place was because it was dangerous, and also because they wanted a better life.
Yeah.
We gotta make it so that people can actually settle in this country and not immediately fall into the poverty bracket or.
Well, we should do that with our citizens too.
Oh yeah. Our citizens.
Which I feel like we also don't do.
Yeah. Now, granted, some people aren't willing to take the steps needed to get above the poverty line.
Yeah, but that's because a lot of them too have kind of been lured by the promises of the welfare state. If you get rid of the welfare state, I think getting rid of it entirely is a little harsh. But if you get rid of the welfare state to any degree, people are going to work harder because they need to pay their rent. They need to get their food, right? And if you don't give them money for free, they will find other ways to get money.
Yeah, food, housing, and shelter are the three main comforts. Food, housing, shelter, and I would also say food, housing, and shelter are the three biggest physical needs. And clothing.
Yeah, clothing is kind of important. I mean, now if you're a Twitch streamer, it's not as important, but
if you're an OnlyFans or TikTok person, then clothing is
Clothing is
okay,
optional.
the only people that I mean, San Francisco is a great place to go if you have no clothes.
Yeah. Or if you have no home.
Oh, yeah, that's also true. That's also true. Which, speaking of homes, I just saw something today that's crazy. Like, I don't know if you saw this, but Massachusetts apparently asked people if they would be willing to take in some of the migrants that have arrived in their state on planes into
Bruh.
their homes. Like, this is a bad idea. That's gonna end in this could end in a disaster really fast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, obviously the government can't like force people to accept others into your home.
Right. I
Because
think
that's
there's a constitutional amendment that's actually sort of adjacent to
I
that.
believe the Third Amendment, which no one talks about because it's against quartering, forced quartering,
Yep.
is very clearly against that. Mainly because back in the American Revolution, the British used to force people to house soldiers
Right.
in their home. And they made an amendment to prevent that from ever happening again.
Now,
And-
to be fair, immigrants are not soldiers.
Okay, no, but would any sane court of law uphold a rule forcing people to house immigrants?
But see, the thing is, these courts have to be sane.
Yes. Okay, any court in the New England area might not be sane, unless it's New Hampshire, but anywhere out in Arizona or Wyoming, no one would let that fly.
You don't think
In
so?
fact, I don't.
I think it's 50-50.
Well, Wyoming is definitely probably not. In fact, if an immigrant showed up at a house, they'll probably be met by a cowboy with a gun anyway, so...
I do think that the Supreme Court wouldn't go for it, but I think that some state courts would go for it. Like, I think even the Fifth Circuit, or as some people call it, the Fifth Circus, I think they would go for it.
They might go for it, but the people who are being forced to house may appeal to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court would look at the case.
Man, I ain't got no host. Shame.
Yeah, they would take
I'm playing
it.
Minecraft. Sorry.
Oh. they they'll take it. Like, the Supreme Court would take up a case like that because it would be a slam dunk for them.
Yeah.
A 6-3 conservative court. The 6 conservatives at the very least would vote it down. I would, in fact, that kind of case could even be unanimous depending on how stupid the 3 liberal justices want to act on this particular day. Maybe it would be 8-1 with the newest justice voting for it for whatever reason, but
Yeah, it could be.
yeah, like, she was chosen specifically because of her race, and
That sounds
stuff. Like,
racist to me, but what do I know? I'm just a black person.
Like, look,
Not me using the racist, explanation for why you should listen to me while complaining about racism.
like, if anything, I'm the one that's not supposed to be talking right now.
That also is
Based
racist.
on based on woke culture rules,
Yes.
for following critical race theory.
Yes.
I'm the one
Intersectionality completely married with critical theory.
Yeah,
But I
like,
do have a question. What did you think about my video about Ohio's issue 1?
I don't think I've seen the video, but so issue 1 is a very interesting thing for me. Like, I didn't really pay too much close attention to it, only because I don't live in Ohio anymore.
Mhm.
If I did, I would have voted. I would have maybe gone out to the polls and cast a vote, considering how big of an issue it is. But I'm a little torn. Like, on the one hand, I know why the issue was put forward for vote. I know exactly what the Ohio GOP was going for. They're trying to defeat the abortion amendment that's coming in November.
Yeah.
And they were trying to do it in a way that would they did it in an interesting way. I don't know why.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. I know you didn't agree with it. I think I could. I'm a little torn, but I think I see where you're coming from, and I kind of agree with you in some ways. This is mostly because I haven't really formulated a good opinion on it. And now that it's been defeated, it's kind of a moot point. But
yeah, it's true.
Although the House, I'm pretty darn certain that the GOP will try a different trick up their sleeves to get it to pass.
Yeah, and hopefully they do something that isn't like so blatantly anti-democratic, because I like the idea of blocking abortion, but not at the expense of democracy.
I do believe there are.
Oh, hey, FIFA Mobile, what is up? Nice to see FIFA Mobile up in the chat. FIFA Mobile says, Concho Rep Tienbo, and I can't help but agree. Like, I think, that whole situation is pretty unfortunate, but it's nice to see people, speaking out about it using the channel name FIFA Mobile in, saying that in Vietnamese. Yeah.
I wish I understood what you just said, but...
I don't understand what he just said.
Okay.
I just completely made up that response there.
No.
Did you think I actually knew what he said? I'm getting all the international viewers this week. I had like two viewers from Canada, from Mexico yesterday. One of them joined the stream today.
Oh, interesting.
Like I'm like Mr. Worldwide up here in this piece. Like
Mr. Worldwide. That's interesting.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I have more international viewers than Thorben does.
I don't know. I know.
Also,
it's crazy.
Official Mike, why are you gonna be so violent up in the chat? Be like, if it's anti-democratic, then raise your guns and fight. Like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Whoa.
He is the inflammatory one. I always have to tone that man down. Like, you have to calm down, my guy. Like,
is this? I think Mike. Is he Canadian?
Yeah, he's a Canadian.
That's even more.
He's the Canadian lad.
He's the Canadian that wanted to F-bomb Justin Trudeau, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand if you hate your leader. Like, don't get me wrong. Justin Trudeau is one of the symbols of bad voodoo.
Bad voodoo. Modern fascism.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau is a Canadian dictator.
Yes.
Like, all the vaccine tests and stuff, and people being arrested for giving out Bibles and stuff. Like, Canada's becoming a scary place.
Yeah.
Also, half of Canada has burned to the ground by this point with all the wildfires they've had, so...
Yeah. A good thing there are no, like, parallels to Rome or anything.
Well, okay, Canada is literally burning to the ground, and then they're also spiritually burning to the ground.
I mean, I think spiritually they've been dead, like...
Yeah, Canada's been dead. Canada is like Canada... A lot of people joke that the United States should have conquered Canada, and we tried twice. in the early years of our country. We tried to take Canada.
I didn't know that.
The British were just too much for us. Yeah, I think we actually almost succeeded like once or twice, but bad management on our part doomed us.
Oh. It's kind of funny, actually.
The thing is, though, is that Canada. The funny thing is that I don't know if Canada has a good. I don't think Canada has a big military either, which is kind of ironic. To be fair, though.
Well, it makes total sense.
To be fair, though, they are piggybacking off us for protection,
Yeah.
which makes all sense in the world. Also,
But I mean, Canada's like the kind of country that you would expect to like build an army or military arsenal out of like rubber guns, like.
maple syrup, man, it's sticky. Maple syrup cannon.
Yeah, they would use that before like using actual weapons. This is pretty funny.
If they have any actual weapons, they might have banned them all and destroyed them all years ago.
Oh no, ban them all for the citizens. I think the police can have as many guns as they want.
Well, okay, if the police have all the weapons, then you'll get a police state. But at the very least, well, and then I don't know how crime is in Canada, but apparently, I do know that.
Well, I mean, yeah,
of the
there's
country
a fair bit of crime because people are still praying out in public.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Canada is really scary. Even so, there is no, like we were talking about Justin Trudeau here, like as much as a bad dude as he is, as a Christian, it is not my right, or should I ever wish harm or ill being upon someone.
Yeah.
For even if they've done terrible things. I had to have this discussion with a guy in the hall one time and remind him about this when he hated Fauci. Which, to be fair, Fauci deserves a lot of dislike.
Yo, he wanted
bad
Fauci to be like
things.
taken out, like.
Yeah, you might remember that this back when, during the brief time that our hall chat had a news channel.
Wait, I don't remember this. It had a news channel.
Okay, so I think it was during my junior year when the Discord server was pretty new. Our good old friend Jacob Bates, if you know him,
Yes.
wanted to have a space for like discuss. Actually, this whole channel started in junior year as a way to discuss the Ukraine war because right as it broke out.
Oh.
And then, so we started this channel for news discussion.
Mhm.
Well, knowing Bates loves to talk politics and stuff,
Yep.
it quickly turned into a political debate, especially when Bates wished ill harm on Fauci during one
Yikes.
message, and it sparked a huge controversy.
As it
why
should
our
have.
good friend- That's why our good friend Snallick hates politics, is because of that argument
Whew.
he had with him.
Yeah, it's.
I had to I had to step in as a good brother and tell him, no, you're not allowed to wish harm on anybody. That's not Christian.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we may. I don't like Biden. I'll say it out loud. I'll get canceled for it, probably. Good thing I don't have YouTube anyway, so. Good thing I don't have a YouTube channel. But, like, I don't like Biden or Harris or their policies. It
Yeah.
kind of sucks. Our country's probably going to be in a recession for the next 100 years because of them, but I'm not going to wish ill harm to him. Like, when he falls down the stairs, I'm not wishing that he dies of mustard poisoning.
Mustard poisoning? You mean arsenic sauce?
No arsenic. We don't need to send him a package with arsenic in the mail. Someone already tried that years ago, mind you. They didn't try to take out Biden, but there was someone that did send packages. There was a criminal back in like 2001 that did send mail packages to several people with some sort of powder poison on it. I don't know if anyone actually died from it. A couple people did get sick or something. And then he got caught, of course.
Yeah, as I would expect.
Yeah, like, even... also, these days, criminals should realize that these days, you're 110% gonna get caught.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Unless you're from China, and then you might have a chance to escape.
What? That was kind of out of left field.
I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. That was
like, what?
I don't know why I said that.
I was like, what?
No. Okay. So, like,
I know a lot of political things. I don't know about that one.
okay, the thing I should say is 110% you're gonna get caught and you're going to face prison time or jail time for it. Unless you're Hunter Biden or a celebrity.
Yeah.
Although some celebrities do get jail time. I wish justice would be served the same across the board.
True.
Like,
but I guess,
come on,
nobody
man.
cares that Alec Baldwin killed a woman.
Just because this rapper guy makes like $20 million a year doesn't mean that he should be sentenced with only 2 years in prison for shooting someone in the head, when a person walking randomly on the street who does the same thing gets 20 years or something.
Okay, well, to be fair, Tory Lanez did get 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. I'm not making this up. This is real.
Oh yeah, I saw that story today too. I think that's why I said rapper, because I thought of him.
You got 10 years for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot.
And then Megan Thee Stallion hopefully learned not to trust the guy again.
Yeah, well, the sad thing is that now Tory Lanez comes out of the situation with street cred once he's out of jail.
Also, well, once he's out of, I heard that once someone wanted to hire him on right out as he got out of jail, or once he leaves prison.
Wanted to give him a job?
Yeah, there was some music producer or something, or artist said she was going to hire him to collaborate with stuff as soon as he got out of prison.
Interesting.
I don't know why you're stupid. I don't know why she was stupid like that, but
it's interesting.
Some people end up stupid.
That's an interesting decision. Like, oh, you shot someone in the foot? That sounds like someone I could use. Let me hire you.
Yeah, it's just not as a hitman though, because he apparently can't aim well. Although, okay, I don't like. Why would you? I don't know how she ended up getting shot in the foot in the first place. This
I don't know.
Person.
I don't even remember if it was on purpose or if it was just bad gun safety.
Well, I don't know. I would assume it was maybe more purposeful. Getting 10 years in prison sounds a little harsh for an accidental discharge.
Yeah, but to be fair, he did collaborate with Kanye West, so that also is a crime.
I don't know what happened to Kanye. The guy, I don't even know if the guy's alive anymore.
He's alive.
He's alive. Oh, he's definitely alive, because if he was dead, we would have heard of it by now, but he's alive, but I think the guy, I don't know what happened to him.
He got manipulated by some internet celebrities into supporting anti-Semitism, I think. Now he's kind of like isolated by himself, hanging out with his new wife half naked while they go get like Starbucks or something. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, like I think probably, I know Kanye is talented as a musician. Like, he was a talented rapper.
Was.
I don't know if he might still be. Although I don't know about his mental health might be affecting his talent a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, it usually makes it better if it's bad. But...
I don't know. Okay, that's the 21 Pilots mentality right there. And Dr. White's the one that told me they are depressing. So
Wait, he told you what?
Dr. White in chapel at Cedarville Chapel one day during a message said that 21 Pilots is depressing.
I guess he is. I
During one of
mean,
the sermons.
I
This was a
suppose.
while ago, though.
I suppose.
That was just it was an offhand comment or something. Probably having to do like you can't find your worth in this world or something.
Yeah.
Lines.
Which you can. Oh,
You can
by the way, you know what I got?
what? Oh, the Star Wars movies.
Yep. So I've got all of the original versions of the original trilogy.
You got episode 4 finally.
Yep. So I'm gonna download that 4K 77 movie. Oh, I did not realize it was 12:30. I need to wrap up the stream so we can watch Star Wars Rebels.
Oh right, I was about to ask you if you were gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries, man.
I didn't realize you were still streaming. I thought you were just playing games or something.
Yeah. If you find my there's anything on my clips channel you find interesting, like go check that out because I do post like edited videos from my streams like 3 times a week on like at noon on like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah, as long as the video doesn't get taken down, right?
Yeah, I've only had one video taken down temporarily because it was one of my viewers on a Discord call jokingly claiming that he had a cure for cancer. And so they thought it was a scam and they got rid of the whole clips channel.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I'm assuming when you say temporarily, you were able to successfully appeal it.
Oh yeah, I peeled it and they like checked it out and were like, "Oh yeah, bro, you're right."
Yeah, like the moderators, like the thing with you're also such a small streamer that now I don't mean to be offensive, but you're small enough that anyone watching, that your audience is small enough that you're not going to cause a widespread TikTok trend of people trying to cure cancer.
Yeah, that's good.
With
Unless a video that I post blows up. Well, and I have had videos get like thousands of views before. Like all my Cedarville videos, people were mad in the comment section. I had like so many balding boomers in my comment section being like, "Oh, you're just spreading rumors."
Oh.
Did you remember that arc that I was like making videos about that?
Oh, the what the heck happened in Ohio arc?
No, not that. Well, specifically talking about the whole stabbing situation.
Oh, yeah, I remember that thing. To be fair, though, I'll probably never be able to like forget it because it was a big event on campus when it happened. Also for other reasons too, but yeah, like I wish it didn't happen while I was still at school. I wish it didn't happen at all, first off.
Yeah.
I also wish it didn't happen while I was still in school.
Yeah. And when it comes to the whole thing, what part that makes me upset about it specifically, and I'm just speaking from a personal perspective, and I'm not going to name drop on stream the person who did it, but I'm extremely disappointed because from what I understand, and again, I am no longer on campus. I have a lot of people who are still on campus, some of which I trust a fair bit, who fed me some of this information. But from what I've heard, my opinion on the situation is that this was a revenge stabbing for some things that the person who got stabbed did, but wasn't punished for because there was no evidence against him. And I am extremely frustrated because the guy who, like, the person who got stabbed, I've been telling him for like the longest times to change how he views and approaches women and all of that stuff. And he would refuse to take my advice, but then he kept on asking me for advice.
I don't mean to interrupt you. So you actually know who the victim was now?
Yeah. And he reached out to me as well.
Oh, he did? Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I mean, do you know who he is? I mean, don't name drop him, but like, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy, like, I think he revealed himself to me like day one.
Yeah, it's crazy. I heard that he was running around campus trying to make sure everyone knew it was him so that he could get sympathy or whatever. But like, I mean, I support him, you know, in his like current court case, because, excuse me, again, from all that I can gather and understand, like, he was not attacking. He was not actually attacking her. This was probably some sort of like, you know, revenge stabbing. But the thing is, this all could have been avoided if he wasn't being kind of creepy and, you know, freaking girls out on campus. Like,
oh my gosh.
being grossly inappropriate. And it's tough too, because, you know, I do think that, you know, justice should be served with the stabbing, but also like all of the things that led up to the stabbing were things that could have been easily avoided if he took my advice and stopped approaching women in the way that he does and stopped viewing them in the way that he does. And that just makes me upset. I've talked to this dude like 2 years while we both were on campus, and he did not take any of my advice.
Hey, look, if we're talking about the same person, you're not the only one who's talked to this guy for like 2 years.
That's true.
More.
That's true.
Or 3 years in my case, since I was there a year longer than you.
Yeah.
Although I didn't really talk with him too much after you left and the others graduated. We didn't hang out too much then.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be a problem considering what happened, but
yeah. But I think at the very least, like, it's not like,
yeah, okay, it's not my fault though that he got himself in this situation.
Yeah.
It's his fault for getting himself in this situation because he practiced bad advice about women.
That's true.
Like, he listened to Thorben too much.
What did Thorben tell him?
Okay, I shouldn't bring Thorben up.
Okay, I'm confused. I am curious now.
No, okay. When I said Thorben out loud, and then I'm realizing that actually Thorben gave him some good advice, even though we all know, you and I know that Thorben isn't necessarily a person you would go for relationship advice to.
Unless you want to see the negative side of things. I mean, I don't think that he's given outright bad advice. He's just extremely black-pilled.
He's extremely slanted.
Yes, pessimistic is what black-pilled means, basically.
Pessimistic.
Yeah.
Hopefully anyone who's watching isn't, like, completely confused now.
I mean, this is something I could clip out and make a video about, like, my biggest regret with the Cedarville stabbing. I'm literally gonna do that.
It's a fair clip. Although we should start Rebels pretty soon, but also
Yeah.
I will say this last thing. Like, I think I don't know. I'm trying to think if I should be more careful bringing up Forbin in this setting.
I mean, don't slander the dude. Don't say anything that's not true, and don't say anything that he wouldn't want you to share on stream. Is the thing.
Well, yeah, that's my biggest thing. Is that like, I don't want. The last thing I want is for someone in your Discord. Someone just shows up on your stream, happens to be one of Forbin's subscribers, hears us talking about this stuff, Forbin stuff, and realizes, oh, something's fishy here. And then he goes to Forbin's stream, and Forbin gets wrecked by this one dude from the middle of nowhere who got
But if Thorbin gave him good advice, there's nothing to hate on him for.
Yeah, that's true. Forbin gave him good advice.
Okay.
Aragorn gave him great advice. Multiple times. Multiple hours at a time. Late into the night. Past when anyone was sane. I'm pretty sure even Snake Boy even talked to him a few times and gave him some advice.
And it's a sad thing too, because like I'm in DMs with like Cedarville Interpreter and what is it? See You Exposed. Well, who I'm somewhat friendly with both of them, although See You Exposed.
Uncensored?
Excuse me.
Do you mean See You Uncensored?
Oh yeah, sorry. See You Uncensored. I will also see you Exposed. But I've had friendly talks with all of them except.
Is also a thing?
Yeah, they're a thing on Instagram. Although See You Exposed has called me an unsafe person before.
Ooh.
Typical snowflake behavior.
That's an ouch. Anytime someone calls you that, anytime someone calls a Christian unsaved,
no, not unsaved. Not unsaved, unsafe.
Unsafe. Oh, that's different.
But it's like
if anyone ever tells you you're unsaved, one of two things. One, well, most of the time, if people think you're unsaved and acting like them, it's because you failed to be a great witness around them, and you need to change your act. Sometimes, though, the other problem that happens is just that they just met you or something, and you just do something random and like, huh?
Or you don't meet up with their strict standards. So there's that factor too.
Or if you're trying to hang out with a bunch of legalists and you decide to dance to a song, and they don't like dancing.
Yeah.
They decide that you're uncultured, unsaved swine or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. The thought I was trying to make with the accounts or whatever is like a lot of the rhetoric that was coming from those accounts or whatever is like, this dude's never not holding any accountability. He's not facing any like backlash or criticism. Like, I think people don't understand how much behind the scenes this dude was getting criticized for his behavior. It's not like people were giving him a free pass or whatever, just because he had some connections to some like Cedarville donor. Like I think most of us didn't even know that until people were complaining about that in like YouTube comment sections. Like I didn't know that.
Wait, donor stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, if you receive money from a Cedarville donor, kudos to you for getting a gift like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you should thank the donor for the rest of your life for them saving you from the drowning of student debt. But that's also beside the point. But
yeah, but I'm just saying the people around him, the people who actually knew him.
I can see why people complain. I'm sorry, we are interrupting each other so bad.
Yeah, no. The main point I wanted to make is that the people around him were calling him out on his behavior. He was not getting a pass from the people who were around him. He was constantly facing criticism from people in his hall about his behavior. So I don't like the narrative that people were just treating him with favor just because he was the kid of some rich important, dude. Like I understand if like you're gonna levy that claim against the university, although from all of my sources, from everything that I've heard, it's not true that he was being treated with favoritism. It's just that there weren't enough like there wasn't enough proof against him. But
I mean,
it's not like people were just giving him a free pass in his behavior. They were treating him just like a normal dude, and I'm admonishing him, and rightfully so.
yeah, like at the end of the day, like the people who didn't know who he was at all, like even he had some friends. Even he had friends. Like he made friends. He did stuff on campus that was fun. Like he lived somewhat normal. Somewhat
yeah.
normal, because the other part was all the weird, creepy stuff he did that he shouldn't have done. The only reason why he got in this situation, and probably why the university was like, bro, why?
Yeah, there's stuff
Like,
about
yeah,
there's stuff where you know, people publicly on Instagram were like, oh, like, you know, why hasn't the university done this to him, done that to him? Like, bro, you don't know the conversations that this dude has had with administration and how much he pushed back on certain things. Like, just not to be extremely specific, I don't know if he'd want that to be public, but
like when I met him when he first came into college, he would not wear pants. He would not wear pants for a while. He always wore shorts, even though it's against the rule to wear shorts to class in chapel. He just wore shorts anyway. Now there were other people like his old roommate Christian that he never really got along with well, that also didn't wear shorts. And even a few years later, when I still saw him around campus, he was always wearing shorts. That guy never changed. To be fair, though, he was always
in more ways than what?
Yeah, he was never a Brock. He was kind of a Brock Lawler kid to begin with, so it's a miracle he even made it in the Hill in the first place.
I would be surprised that he made it in Brock and Lawler.
I think he was a new dorm person.
I feel like he fit better in the Hill, probably, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. But our good friend here, there was
our good
shorts
friend
thing. Yeah. There was the shorts thing. There was also this very, very strong dislike of Fauci and masks and all that. He is,
and I get that. Like I understand.
He is. If we had to categorize him on the conservative scale, he would be that redneck from Texas, living in the wild with a gun and stuff, living out his freedom, and he would straight up have stormed into the Capitol if it was January 6th and he was there.
I don't know about that.
Okay, maybe he would have been at the rally. I don't know if he would have gone that far, but he was definitely far conservative. He also jokes a lot about communism, though, which scares me to pieces too sometimes. Because
I would do that too.
hey, look, kids, whatever kids are watching this stream, communism, you can laugh at it. But just remember that communism has its evils. Just look at China and North Korea and the Soviet Union and Vietnam and maybe Cambodia. Well, Cambodia was dictatorship, but...
Oh, yeah, true. That has nothing in common with communism at all.
No, the only reason the Cambodian dictatorship arose in the first place was because Vietnam communist forces invaded the country and overthrew their government. So, communism is still to blame for a different sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like Cuba is also communist. Venezuela, I don't know if it's communist, but it's a mess because of it. Belarus is still a dictatorship and communist. Like
Belarus.
Belarus, baby Russia.
You just said
It is baby-
you say Belarus.
Belarus,
Belarus.
Yeah, baby Russia.
It's okay. Well, yo. Hold up. Let me end the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can do Star Wars. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Rebels.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what? Maybe me and you would be like I know there's this one thing that you do on Saturdays
Yeah.
with this one guy. But I feel like maybe me and you are more suited for it.
I mean, we're in a different way.
In a different way.
The content would be different, but it would be good too.
Or maybe I should just be the third person.
You know, I have a podcast idea. Maybe it would work with you being in it. I'm not sure, because one thing is, from how I'm conceiving it, format wise, it would be very like rapid fire, with like delivery. But you're a more like deliberate, thoughtful person when you speak, I feel like. It's true. You think before you speak. You don't just blurt out random stuff. Like.
Okay. Okay. Maybe the reason I laugh at that is because that was the opposite of what I was at school the last 2 years.
Really?
I was a very blurted person.
Huh.
In fact, there is a quote. If you have not looked at the pins for the lounge in doing stuff chats, there are quotes of mine
Let me check.
that I have said in channel. Oh yeah, this one. This was a hot take. This was at Stingers, which is where a lot of these great quotes come from. Is Stingers meals, which is why I'll miss Stingers, because Panda Express I'll only be able to say stuff in Chinese now when I go there.
No comments.
I am sorry, chat. Let me apologize to the chat, because that was probably very racist on my end.
Just the idea of even calling Panda Express Chinese enough to where you would have to speak Chinese to be there is actually extremely silly. That's like calling Taco Bell Mexican food.
Or calling
Yes, I am
Pizza
not a
Hut
fan of.
Italian.
Yes, Chad, I'm not particularly a fan of that joke either. So don't cancel me. Continue.
Oh, someone made a comment on that?
Wait, they did? No, I didn't see anything yet.
Okay.
The most recent message is from official Mike saying Trudeau is a crime minister.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this was something I said in Stingers one night. We were talking about AI and stuff because ChatGPT was like a new thing, and this is what I said. With AI droids coming up, the Japanese will probably be the first ones to date them.
What? I'm so confused. What? Wait, why?
I don't know if you know this, but there are Japanese people that have dated and married animatronic droid-like creatures.
Oh.
This is a thing in Japan.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I think the Japanese are such a perverted people. Like, where do you...
Okay, you can hold up. Okay, you cannot be just saying stuff like that on my stream. Okay,
okay, that was too far. I
you
apologize.
can't. You can't say stuff like that on my stream, man. Like for real. Like I think I
Okay.
understand what you mean, but like, you know, because you know what it sounds like you're saying, right? When you say that.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly racist on my part,
Yeah.
and also, yeah, that was very bad. That was bad to me.
Yeah.
That would have been something I would have said in Aiden's room at 2 a.m. in the morning when I'm tired and not thinking straight. Like, that's the kind of stuff I might have blurted out. Yeah, I gotta be a little more careful.
Yeah. You know what we can do? Hold on. Let me end my stream, and you can make as many racist jokes as you want. No, I'm joking. Please still don't make any racist jokes.
Oh my gosh. I could make a lot. Look, I could come up with a lot if you really want me to, but I'm not going to.
Please don't. Please don't.
I think I've been hanging out in some chats for way too.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna end the stream and then I'm gonna come back to you so we can do like Star Wars Rebels or something.
Yes,
What?
can make fun of Ezra Bridgers.
All right, see you soon, man.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry about some of those jokes, y'all. Then I knew what he meant. He didn't mean exactly what it sounded like, so I do want to put that disclaimer out there. During my call, I will explain to him to maybe like I get making jokes, but you gotta be careful with how you present them, or else people might not get it, you know. Yeah, I try to be careful with how I wear things on this stream, so. But anyways, thanks y'all for tuning in. Yeah, sapnap drama. Crazy drama, huh? Being Christian is easier than being a progressive extremist. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for sending messages up in the chat. And as our new tradition goes, time to give shout outs to the few people who decided to pop into the stream today. We've got official Mike. Thanks for tuning in. We have SDLTRIKIS up in the chat. Nice to see you, the brother from Mexico. That's what's up. FIFA Mobile as well, saying some words in Vietnamese that I did not understand. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you popping in even though I didn't understand a word of what you were saying. All of you guys make the stream what it is, or at least you guys contribute to it. I'm going to contribute even further. Join my Discord where you will have a chance to hop onto a stream with me, chat it up, talk, all that jazz. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Peace out, y'all. I will see you guys in another stream. Also, one more thing I want to add is I am actively considering moving to Kick trepidatiously, although that is largely predicated on them fixing their their mobile app and also developing a app for televisions. But also, yeah, I'm exploring tentatively like Odyssey as well. I don't know how good their chat experience is though. So, but also, somewhat within the sometime within the next like 3 weeks or so, I'll be ending the current season of Not Newbie Streams. And I will say that bringing it back for another season is a little bit tentative. This fall is going to be very busy for me for school. So I don't know if I'll be doing my typical streams, in the fall. I will still stream whenever I game, but those are going to be more like alt streams than anything. They're not going to be like actual thought out like React streams or anything. If I don't bring back the season as a whole. But I do plan on, next year, bringing everything back in full force if I can. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up, so in case my normal streams are canceled and I start doing only gaming stuff intermittently and no more streams during the week, you guys understand why that is. Just wanted to put that out there. But anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in. Peace out, y'all, and I will see you guys in my next stream. Join my Discord. Peace.